He's a riddle, wrapped in a mystery, inside an enigma.
Welcome to yet another super awesome Minute Microscopy. I'm Eric Rosenblatt, and today I'd like to say a few words about something that's come up a couple times on this channel. All laws and regulations are ultimately enforced at gunpoint, and that the state's only true tool of action in this regard is the use of force. Now, I'm sure there are people who would disagree, or perhaps have never really followed this chain of events to their inevitable conclusion. So I'm going to explain my reasoning here. Imagine you're presumed to have committed some sort of violation. And something like murder is too short a path to follow. So let's say it was a kind of regulatory infraction. Okay, so at some point, somebody sends you a letter informing you of that violation and demands penance in the form of money. And you ignore it. Then another letter arrives, this time with an even larger fine. You ignore that as well. And later, an enforcer arrives and says they're going to seize your property. And if it's for non-payment of property tax, that could be your house. Well, and of course, you don't want to leave your house, so you refuse to leave. More enforcers arrive, and these ones probably carry guns. And they attempt to physically remove you against your will. There's the first use of force. If you resist, then you've committed a new violation, and their initial course of action would be to arrest you and probably imprison you. That would be the second use of force. If you resist arrest, which would generally have to be a response in kind, then the enforcer's guns would be drawn. If you persist or attempt to defend yourself, the next course of action will be to fire those guns in your direction. The third and deadliest use of force. Okay, so you might say, well, just don't break any laws. Why not just be compliant? And that force would never be used. Well, that's not the point. Saying those things doesn't counter the statement that all roads lead to the barrel of a gun. Every regulation, every law, every statute, no matter how insignificant or petty, no matter how seemingly inapplicable or antiquated, just or unjust, all of their paths of enforcement ultimately end at the gun. I would challenge everyone to find a law that doesn't, under the above scenario, of course. Well, you're probably thinking at this point, well, I obey the law. I follow the rules. I got nothing to worry about. Well, good for you, loyal and obedient citizen. But the thing is, we should all be concerned, because it's been said that every single person in the U.S. could easily be found guilty of at least one felony if prosecutors were cunning enough. Though we might think we know the law, it's so complex that no one knows the law, not even judges or lawyers. They've got volumes of books. Just because something is law doesn't make it correct or good either. And if you resist unjust laws, unjust enforcers, unjust courts, well, bang. Anyway, well, that's a bit of a tangent. The point is, whether it be taking your money, your property, your sanity, your freedom, or your life, all of those things mean the use of force, probably involving firearms. Let that sink in for a minute.